Coming up on Fulton Today, many property owners have gotten their assessment notices in the mail. The Board of Assessors give a reminder about the process to appeal if you don't agree with that value.
After expressing concerns about the treatment of animals, county leaders invite residents to share their input on proposed construction of a new animal shelter. I'm Brian Robinson, and I'll let you know what was said.
And juvenile court officials lean on volunteers to make a difference in the lives of children. We'll explain. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. After hearing from animal activists and community members, Fulton makes good on its promise to address its animal shelter. And to make sure a new shelter is done right, leaders have invited the public to offer their input on the proposed construction. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on this story. Brian?
Shawnee County leaders say those public meetings will determine a number of factors for the new animal shelter, including site selection, space requirements, and operational needs. At the Wolf Creek Library, these South Fulton residents learned about the county's plans to design and build a new animal shelter. Led by Fulton representatives, Lifeline Animal Project, and the shelter's design team, the meeting was the first in a series encouraging residents and volunteers to speak up about the proposed construction.
The other and most important objective for tonight was to get their input on what their priorities for a brand new animal shelter are, what their recommendations for improving the service that we currently provide are. And so it was a very inspiring and motivating meeting. It was terrific to hear from not only our partners, but most importantly, our citizens.
County officials are looking to build a new animal shelter because the current one is over 40 years old. Overcrowding is an issue as well, despite a recent promotion where dog and cat adoption fees were waived, yielding in over 800 adoptions. According to Lifeline Animal Project representatives, the organization that manages the shelters in Fulton and DeKalb, they receive nearly 30 animals a day, 60 during the summer months.
I'm looking forward to taking some of the comments that we had tonight and actually putting it into a usable document that we can advise our Board of Commissioners as to what our citizens are looking for. Also heard a lot of things that we can do in the current shelter to go ahead and make it more useful for the volunteers as well as for the people that are working there and for the animals that we have. So we're going to take that back with our team, seeing how we can go ahead and put some of those things into action for the short term and also take the guidance that we had tonight to go ahead and build an incredible facility for the future for Fulton County.
Resident and volunteer input, as well as a feasibility study approved by the Board of Commissioners in May, will have a major impact on that future.
And I want to be able to be open like 24/7 and have all the needs, whatever the animals need, for medical, like I said, dealing with the homeless people and their animals, and just like I said, just have a big facility.
We're very excited as a volunteer to see the new facility take shape.
And what would you like to see in the new facility?
We need a better place for the animals to be, less stress, to lower their stress level, and we need a safer place for the employees to work.
There's still a lot of work to do before a final design is approved. Now, despite county leaders having already scouted a number of locations across the county, no location has been determined as of yet for the new animal shelter. The next public meeting is scheduled to take place July 10th in North Fulton. A third and final meeting in South Fulton is on the schedule, but no date and time has been determined. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thanks, Brian. Meanwhile, Fulton's Board of Assessors is happy to hear the latest news regarding tax assessment notices.
The 2019 assessment notices were mailed on Tuesday.
Yes.
The board meeting was the first between it and Chief Appraiser Dwight Robinson since notices were mailed out last month. The Chief Appraiser's presentation included a sample assessment notice and an explanation of how to review it. He also explained how notices can be found on the Board of Assessors website. Before the meeting began, Chairman Rob Pitts stopped by to offer words of encouragement.
This is a great day, and I want to stop by and just say hello and say thank you to the Board of Assessors for a job well done. Notices are out now, so I'm happy. The Board of Commissioners is happy. They should be happy, and our citizens should be happy. They're doing a great job, and I'm really, really proud of each and every one of them.
The deadline to appeal your assessment notices is August 2nd. If you have questions about your notice or the appeal process, you can contact the assessor's office directly. Volunteers answer the call to serve on Juvenile Court's Citizen Review Panel. The group was given an overview of the different types of juvenile court cases during a one-day training course inside the Romay T. Powell Juvenile Justice Center. The volunteers were informed about misdemeanor and felony offenses as well as delinquency and foster care cases.
The court has ordered parents to do things to get their children back. The panel's there to review the progress or lack of progress in the case and give findings and recommendations back to the court for the court to make decisions in all matters with the case.
The Citizens Review Panel assesses the status and welfare of children in legal custody of the Department of Family and Children's Service. Their main objective is to ensure reasonable efforts have been made to unite children with their families.
It allows the Fulton County community to actually see what's going on here with the court, with the children in foster care, and actually make a difference in their lives.
I think it's important to have someone, out from the outside, not from a, service or the court, to have input.
To get more information on how to serve on the Fulton County Juvenile Court Citizens Review Panel, call 404-613-4667. The Fulton Citizens University class hears how the county's justice partners keeps them and all Fulton residents safe. Superior Court Chief Judge Robert McBurney, District Attorney Paul L. Howard Jr., and Sheriff Ted Jackson each explained their duties to the students. The partners discussed the programs they have in place, like their Public Integrity Unit, the Expungement Program, and the Junior Deputy programs. The students agree that Fulton County has one of the hardest working judicial teams in the state.
What was most impactful to me was the way they care about keeping citizens out of the courts and out of the jails, and how much every single staff member here talked about the most important programs to them, and those programs were always turnaround and second chance programs for children and adults.
Well, it was very informative to me attending the Law and Justice program tonight, particularly about the Innocence program that they're working on, going back and developing where they will go back and look at cases where people have been wrongly convicted.
Next week, the class visits Select Fulton to learn about the economic development opportunities the county has to offer. Participants in the Sheriff's Office's Junior Deputy program learn what it takes to be an actual Sheriff's Deputy. It was a hands-on experience unlike any other. FGTV's Daryl Carver explains.
From combat to defensive tactics,
Get down.
and even a lot of push-ups.
Down.
The Sheriff's Office Junior Deputy program is not your typical summer camp.
We like to try to do team building exercises to get them to put their phones down and actually socialize with each other, and just basically learning how to be leaders, natural leaders, encouraging each other and socializing without the use of cell phones.
The week-long program began with a tour of the Fulton County Jail, where the junior deputies got to see parts of the Rice Street facility that the public rarely sees. They also spoke with inmates about life inside the jail. It's a life these youngsters want to avoid.
If they're in a bad situation, they have motivation to keep doing good, so they won't end up like the people in here.
The scene then moved to the county's Public Safety Training Center in South Fulton. For one day, the middle and high school students learned basic combative and defensive skills, met the Sheriff's Office K-9 unit, and experienced what it's like to be a member of the SWAT team.
Well, the first thing, what the acronym of SWAT is, which is Special Weapons and Tactics. Secondly, I wanted to let them know that we're there. Our number one priority is to preserve lives, to save lives. Oftentimes when people think of SWAT, they're thinking that we're just going in to shoot everything up or to blow things up, and that's not our mission. Our mission is to make sure that everyone that is in that dwelling comes out safely, to include the suspect.
After experiencing a week like this, these junior deputy participants will have quite the story to tell with their classmates once school starts.
I have learned that to be respectful to others and treat others with respect, only if they're treating you with respect, and to show others the way to lead and not break them down and motivate them.
It's a fun program, I learned about the duties of a police officer and the SWAT team and how they control themselves in a serious situation when they have to go in the force, try and take somebody down.
Now that these junior deputies have experienced the right side of the law, everyone hopes they continue down that track. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Daryl Carver.
Looks like fun. Thanks, Daryl. Up next on Fulton Today, a Fulton commissioner is honored for her commitment to public service. It's part of our district-by-district coverage. Next. One commissioner lends his voice to a local development authority, and another prepares to meet one-on-one with his district constituents. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. District 3 Commissioner Lee Morris is now the newest member of the Atlanta Development Authority. The commissioner was nominated by Chairman Rob Pitts to serve on the board, now known as Invest Atlanta.
I was honored that Chairman Pitts has put my name forth to take the position that the late Emma Darnell had held for so many years. It's important work and has a tremendous impact on the development within the city of Atlanta, but it also has an impact on the taxpayers who do not reside within the tax allocation districts, which of course is much of my district.
Invest Atlanta is the catalyst for residential and commercial economic vitality in Atlanta. It is the City of Atlanta's official economic development authority. District 4 Commissioner Natalie Hall is awarded for her service to the community. The commissioner was among 8 people named as Women and Men of Distinction honorees. Commissioner Hall was given the 2019 Public Servant of the Year award.
It was an honor to receive the Public Servant of the Year for 2019 from the Women of Distinction Incorporated. This organization is an outstanding organization that does many things in the community to serve the youth, seniors, and many others in need.
Atlanta City Councilman Matt Westmoreland was another elected official who was recognized with Commissioner Hall, along with a number of other business and civic leaders. Commissioner Hall is serving her first term as the District 4 representative for Fulton County. District 5 residents can get an update on Fulton County services during a town hall meeting sponsored by their district commissioner. Like last quarter, Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. and county staff will host the District Dialogues Forums. County staff will provide critical information on issues concerning them.
We're just inviting the public out to meet with our tax appraiser and to get their questions answered about their tax bills. We want to explain the tax appeal process, the reasons and grounds for valid appeals, the deadlines, and all of the other information surrounding the property bills.
Now mark your calendars. Next week, July 9th and July 10th, the town hall meetings are both scheduled. Now, the one on the 9th is at the Bowden Center from 2 to 3 p.m. And on the 10th, the meeting will be in the evening at 6 p.m. at the Metropolitan Branch Library. You can get more details at the District 5 website. And still to come, Fulton's health team hits the road to encourage everyone to get tested for HIV. Stay with us, everybody. The week-long national and local observance and push to get as many people as possible tested for HIV and AIDS has wrapped up, and Fulton's Board of Health team went literally the extra mile to do its part. FGTV's Melissa Lewis explains.
At a parked van in the Ansley Mall parking lot, residents came one by one. Some were coming to get tested for the first time, while others came just to get information about what has become an epidemic in the state's largest county, HIV and AIDS.
I think that everyone is under the impression, as they should be, that HIV is something that we can defeat, and it all starts with just us knowing our status.
This event was a part of what the Fulton County's Board of Health called their Mall Crawl, an outreach effort to get as many people tested during the National HIV Testing Day observances.
We believe that we can end the HIV epidemic in Fulton County with 3 steps. So the first step is that everyone should get tested for HIV at least once a year. If you are newly diagnosed and now living with HIV, we want to make sure that you are linked to care so that you can be virally suppressed. But also, if you are not living with HIV, but you are engaged in activities that may put you at risk, we want to make sure that you are linked to PrEP, which is 1 pill once a day to prevent HIV.
Metro Atlanta has the 4th highest rate of new HIV diagnosis among metro areas in the U.S. Fulton County ranked 6th highest for new HIV diagnoses among all counties in the U.S. It's why the National HIV Testing Day and the days leading up to it are so important to the county, because a diagnosis first depends on residents getting tested.
If you are test positive, we will get you linked into treatment so you can become virally suppressed and so that you won't pass the virus on to others. If you do test negative, we will refer you to PrEP, and that's a pill that you can take once a day to prevent contracting the HIV virus.
So while the mall crawls all over the metro area helped to kick off the annual initiative, the National HIV/AIDS Testing Day in Fulton County wrapped up with the official carnival at the Ponce City Market rooftop. The bottom line, county officials are working to end AIDS in Fulton County, not only on this day, but on every other day of the year. For FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Meanwhile, an update on the measles outbreak impacting the country. The Georgia Department of Public Health has confirmed a case of measles in an unvaccinated Metro Atlanta resident who recently traveled overseas. The department notified individuals who may have been exposed to the virus and may be at increased risk for developing measles. Now, this case brings the number of confirmed cases of measles in Georgia to 7 this year. Now, Fulton's Board of Health offers vaccinations including measles. Vaccines are available for infants, children, teens, and adults of certain ages, people in certain jobs, and travelers to countries to where they may be at risk for certain diseases. You can get health center information on the department's website. Fulton residents are learning a new eco-friendly way to grow plants and even some vegetables by using, of all things, rocks. From now through October, at 8 county library branches, free geoag classes are being held. Geoag is geological agriculture and is the study of growing plants in rocks indoors and outdoors permanently without soil and fertilizers.
So there are several benefits, but some of the obvious ones are, of course, 50% less watering, no weeding, and of course the cost of constantly replenishing the soil over and over again. We're able to show how sustainable using rocks is, which can be used over and over again, and they all possess the nutrients that's needed to grow plants to full term. That it's very simple, it's very affordable, and it is even for people that may or may not have resources or access, in this case, to nutritious foods and to fruits and vegetables.
So if you want to learn what rocks really do, sign up for the 2019 GeoAg workshops at the South Fulton, Southeast, Fairburn, Northwest, East Point, East Roswell, Palmetto, and Southwest branches. You do have to register for the classes, so visit the county's library webpage for details. And up next, the Fulton Films team celebrates some of the country's most talented and aspiring young filmmakers. Stay with us. Patrons and library personnel celebrate the grand reopening of the West End Library.
3, 2, 1.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony started the joyous occasion, followed by a tour of the over 7,500 square foot facility. The new West End Library features a new roof and windows, upgrades to the technology system, and a community resource room for uninterrupted work, consultants, and tutoring. The library also promotes walkability.
This library is truly in the heart of the community. There's houses right across the street, there's houses next door. This is one of those old-fashioned libraries that's in the center of the neighborhood where people can just walk up after school, they can walk up on the weekends and really enjoy what we have to offer.
The Weston Library is the third library in Phase 2 of the library building program to reopen. Coming up on next week's show, we'll take a look at the reopening of the Southwest Library branch. Very cool. And finally, the Fulton Films team welcomed the stars of tomorrow to the county.
I'd definitely love to thank the American Youth Film Festival and everyone involved in making the American Youth Film Festival happen.
The 5th Annual American Youth Film Festival award ceremony was held inside the Government Center's Assembly Hall. The festival all week long provided youth the opportunity to showcase their acting and movie-making skills. And to enhance the experience, the Fulton Films team provided a red carpet experience for honorees and their guests to enjoy.
Well, the youth are our future, and they don't have a place to showcase their talent. So we fill that void. We offer them the opportunity to express themselves, express their talent, and express their creativity.
I'm really excited because it's really amazing to see how people react to my film and hear different people's reactions, like people who I don't know, strangers seeing my film.
How do you feel about being able to have a film festival just for kids?
Good.
This is the first year the American Youth Film Festival held an actual award ceremony and the first time Fulton County served as ceremony host sponsors. The festival's director said the award ceremony was so successful that an announcement has already been made that it will return to Assembly Hall in 2020. We had a great time. Congrats to all of the honorees. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. You can also watch a replay of this show and any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.